One of my pet peeves is when people are very defensive when you're trying to have communication with them. Everyone, welcome back to Untitled Chapter. So I've been doing these fun videos about astrology, so this is nothing to take to heart, it's just for fun, and I'm going to be telling you what my least two favorite zodiac sign is, just based off of sun signs, so not the full chart, based off of sun signs. And yeah, I'm really excited to be telling you which one is my favorite, so stay tuned till the end to see what it is. So my least favorite sign of all is Libra. And I have had the worst, absolutely worst experiences with Libras. Not all, just a lot. I find Libras to be very indecisive. You never know where you stand, and I'm the kind of person, like, I like to know where I stand with people. I like to know what is what. I don't like things to be left in limbo, and I feel like Libras are very much like that. I've had 3 exes that are Libras, and they hurt me very, very deeply. I must admit that I wasn't an angel in that relationship either, but what I really didn't like about the relationship is that they would either just disappear and I would be like, where are you? And then they'd come back and say it was on me, or they'd play games to kind of make me feel less than. So my least favorite is Libra. Sorry, Libras. After that, Aries. I do not get along well with Aries. I feel like for the most part Aries can be very selfish and very me. Even if they're confronted of like, you're being selfish, they won't take that criticism well, and they'll be like, well, they're quick to react. And I'm an Aquarius. I know we're not perfect, but one of my pet peeves is when people are very defensive when you're trying to have communication with them. Basically, I feel like they aren't the best communicators, and they're quick to judge everybody else, but the last person to look in the mirror. So that's my second least favorite. After that is Cancer. So Cancer is number 10. I go back and forth about Cancers. I feel like some of my good friends are Cancers. I have like 1 or 2 good friends who are Cancers, but there was a time in my life where I had to like rid myself, like detox my life of all the Cancers in my life, because at the same time they were causing so much trouble in my life, like a lot of jealousy, a lot of toxicity. I remember one specific Cancer friend that I had. When she came to stay in New York, I was very helpful towards her, because I used to live in New York. I was very helpful towards her. I was very caring for her. And then when I asked her for some information about, because I wanted to start my skincare line, I asked her about some information and she was like, no, I can't give it to you. So I was just like, wow, you know. So I find even my old boss was a Cancer, and she was very reactive and just moody, like bitchy, moody, and it wasn't for me. So that is number 10 of my least favorite, well, my favorite. Number 9 is Capricorn. So like I said, this is just for fun and off of my personal experiences, not based off of my clients or anything like that, just based off of personal friendships. And I feel like Capricorns the Capricorn friends that I have or have had, they haven't found the balance of life and work. So they often leave you hanging. They won't acknowledge you if they have to work, because they think that work comes first. So their work will be first, you'll be second. And if you're okay with that in friendships, I'm not okay with that. If you're okay with that in friendships, then that's for you. But I just found that about Capricorns, they're very work, and when it comes to you, it's like, oh, I'll bail on you, and I do not like people bailing on me. It's one of the worst things ever. So that is my 9, pardon me. My 8th is Sagittarius, and even though I've dated Sagittarius who is very kind, very sweet, they are at the bottom. And hear me out before you before you change the channel, hear me out, okay? I feel like Sagittarius are the woman, and not all, because I have some really lovely Sagittarius females in my life. I have about 2. I've had some, and I often tell the story about when I was in high school. I was really close to the Sagittarius female, and she ended up betraying me like really, really badly. And I see that happening quite frequently when I get really close to a Sagittarius around my age. I'm close to Sagittarius who's older, and I feel like older Sagittarius I can get along with better, because even the guy was older. But Sagittarius around my age, I feel like the women come across as very mean girl, and the men are very they're just not serious about life. So I think until Sagittarius get older, they oftentimes are playing with life. They play with people's feelings, they play with life. They don't take life as seriously as I think that they should. My 7th is me, my sign, Aquarius. I know I'm not at the top, even though other Aquarius would be like, we're the best, which is one of the reasons why Aquarius is number 7, because I feel like sometimes we toot our own horns too much and we actually have work to do, you know. I have had really good experiences with Aquarius and really bad experiences with Aquarius. I feel like sometimes Aquarius, because we think we are it, we think we're the best, we oftentimes tend to not take criticism well. And trust me, I've had to work through that. Not take criticism well and become jaded. I see a lot of Aquarius becoming jaded over time because they feel like people don't take well to them. And I felt like that too. I've had to really do some inner work to be like, you know what, I was the one that was full of shit, you know. We're not always, it's always a balance, but I feel like Aquarius, sometimes we're too afraid to look at ourselves because we think it's everybody else. So I see a lot of victimization in Aquarius that I really, really don't like. Number 6 is Taurus. So I was contemplating whether Taurus should be 6 or 7. I do know some great Taurus in my life, so I'm not going to take away from that. I just feel like I'm an Aquarius, so I love open-mindedness. And if you're an open-minded Taurus, which I know some, that's great. But a lot of Taurus I know are very closed-minded and just like, it's my way and that's it. And we'll get into arguments based on that, like based on opinions. And I'm like, it's my opinion. Why are you fighting with me about it, you know? So I just don't like one aspect of the conversation. I think everybody should be included. So number 5 is Pisces, and I actually almost forgot to put Pisces on the list. I was like, so many of my good friends are Pisces, so I'm really sorry about that, Pisces. I absolutely love Pisces. I think that a lot of Pisces are so compassionate that I've met, very nurturing, kind. Something, and the reason why Pisces is not high up on my list is that I feel like Pisces can kind of be passive aggressive, and I really, really don't like passive aggressivity. I like people to be upfront with me. I don't like questioning why people feel a certain way about me. I'd rather just know. And I feel like with Pisces, if you try to get an answer out of them, they're like, hide. You know, I've dated some Pisces where I have to be like, what's going on with us? You know, what's the situation? And they'll just be like in limbo, you know, and they can really care for you, but still not know what they're doing with their life. And it's a little frustrating on that end. But otherwise, you'll be farther up. That's just where you are. Number 5, Pisces. Number 4 is Scorpio. Now, from dating wise, if I were to go by dating, Scorpio would be way down the list, trust me. But it's because of my Scorpio friends that this is so far high up. One friend in particular who I've known for many years is so awesome and so supportive. In fact, a lot of my Scorpio friends are so supportive. The only thing about Scorpio and why they're not high up on the list, I feel like a lot of Scorpios can become jaded by the world and become very kind of passive aggressive like Pisces too, but feel like the world owes them something because of their past. Also, the communication issues. Sometimes I feel like once Scorpios learn how to communicate, like one of my really good friends I've known for many years, she communicates, she listens. Sometimes Scorpios can have issues listening and hearing other people out because they feel like they are more validated because they've been through a lot in their life. So yeah. Number 3 is Gemini, and I absolutely love Geminis. I'm shocked that when I was making this list I didn't put them farther up, but I know why I didn't. I feel like sometimes with Geminis, let me talk about the good. I love Geminis, fun spirit. I say this all the time. I truly believe the Geminis are going to lead us into the age of Aquarius. I feel like Geminis are geniuses. I feel like Geminis are so creative. I mean, Kanye West, I'm a huge Kanye West fan. To me, he epitomizes a Gemini. Playful, fun, you know, other people take him more seriously than he takes himself. Controversial, just a genius. I mean, there's no artist like Kanye West. The dark side of Gemini, and why they aren't farther up, is that I believe Geminis can be narcissistic and often talk about themselves. Now, a lot of people say Geminis are two-faced. I don't see it like that. I see it as the playful side and the serious side. And I think sometimes Geminis get so serious, particularly the woman gets so serious, or the females, the feminine energy, gets so serious that they can come across as kind of bitchy and jealous if they see somebody else doing better than them. And I've noticed that in a few of my Gemini friends, and just Geminis in general, that they can come across as like me, kind of similar to Aries, but not as toxic. So that's why Gemini, you're not the top, but you're still my top 3. My second favorite is Virgos, and I absolutely love Virgos. More so the male energy. My dad is a Virgo. My really good friend, one of my best friends for half of my life, is a Virgo. I have a lot of good Virgo friends. One in particular, she's really awesome. So I get along very well with Virgos. I feel like they're very supportive, nurturing, they listen. Especially those that have overcome the dark side. Now, the dark side is critical, overly critical, and sometimes rash to come to conclusions about people. And I feel like once Virgos can overcome that, they can make such supportive friends. Really, they have such potential. I mean, all the signs have potential, but Virgos can have such potential if they overcome the need to criticize themselves and others, because it can lead to a very dark place. So my number 1 is Leo, and it's my opposite sign. A lot of my good friends are Leos. My grandfather was a Leo. My favorite aunt is a Leo. I get along very well with Leos. I think sometimes they can have a fake side to them, but it also depends what else is in their chart. And I also think that sometimes if Leos have an urge to be famous and to be seen, it can become a block, and they can kind of become like you know how they say Leos need to be happy in order to spread the happiness to others, just like a lion. You know, when you see a lion and it's hungry and it's famished, it looks sunken in and depressed. But when it's fed and it's thriving, it's the happiest. Like, you can visually see when a lion is doing well versus when it isn't. So that's how I feel about Leos. I feel like Leos, if they don't make themselves happy, everybody else around them is not going to do well. And I've seen like the bossy side of Leos too. I mean, granted, none of us are perfect, but the reason why Leo is number 1 for me is that when a Leo has your back, they have your back. Not all, because I have had fake Leo friends, but for the most part, Leos, you know where you stand with them, you know what's what, and things are very clear with Leos. And because they're my opposite sign, I feel like they complement me very well. But I get along very well with Leos, and they're my number 1 because I also feel like they see life as too short to hold on to grudges. And that's how I am too. Like, if I'm not beefing with you, we're good, you know. It sounded such a gangster if I'm not beefing with you. What I mean to say is, if life's too short to hold unnecessary grudges for reasons that you might even not know yourself, so you might as well just get it out, talk to that person, get it out. If you don't get along, you don't have to see each other. But I feel like with some other signs, they'll keep you around just to bring you down, and that's not Leo at all. Leos are very, very supportive. And when you have a friend that's a Leo and they are in their light, they've worked through their blocks, they are your number one supporter in life. So I'm very grateful for all the Leos in my life. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comment section which is your favorite. This is just for fun, people, so don't get all worked up. Let me know if you want to write down your 12 in the comment section. You can do that too. I'd love to read that.